I want to say something.
Okay.
Earlier, me and you I said, have you ever met somebody like that? Like talking about somebody that's enlightened or so conscious that they are radiating love or consciousness, and it's attractive. And we both said, I've never met somebody like that. Now, there could be people going, that's because you have to be conscious to recognize it. But doesn't that sound exactly like something somebody who is hypnotized would say? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to be like rational here.
Yeah.
Is there any level of hypnotism?
All right, fellow mystics and truth seekers, James and Justin back again. And in this one, we're going to take a look at Sadhguru's video on the 3 different kinds of yogis. Now, we were asked to do this by someone who's been watching the channel, so here we go. All right.
In certain schools of yoga, they classify yogis into 3 categories. These are referred to as Mandha, Madhyama and Uttama. Mandha means he has tasted what it means to be conscious. He has tasted the source of creation, he has known the oneness, but not able to keep it throughout the day. He needs to remind himself. When he reminds himself, when he's aware, he's there. When he is not aware, he loses that whole experience.
Hey, maybe some people can relate to that because I don't know if you've ever practiced yoga or meditation, or you can get yourself into like kind of like the zone. And maybe this is like really surface level here, like me saying this, like I'm not claiming that I've like reached full enlightened oneness with the universe, but I'm saying you can get some peace. You can get like a sense of peace, but then you go back after your practice, you go back to your day-to-day life, and then you just get all entangled up in the world affairs again. Like
it reminds me of what Jesus said. Remember when he talked about the word falling on different types of people, and he said the seeds fall on one person and they accept it initially, but then the concerns of the world work the word out of them. Like it's similar.
Similar. I think the only difference is I don't think he's saying that they can't get back to that place. I'm just saying while they go about in their day-to-day affairs, they're out of it. But then they're not in the inner peace state.
Yeah.
That he's talking about here.
But I'd be remiss if I didn't say also, one, Sadhguru's got a smooth, relaxing voice. Like, I can fall asleep. And then the other thing is he's like super conscious, right? Like people would consider him like an enlightened being.
Yes.
So that means that little mustache twist was with full level consciousness. It was purposely purposeful. A little twist of the stash. Interesting what somebody with full conscious... notice their behaviors.
All right, let's continue it up.
Nobody can be effortfully conscious for 24 hours. If you're making an effort to be conscious, if you can manage it for a few seconds or minutes, it's a big thing. Otherwise it'll go all over the place. So the first stage of a yogi is called mandha. The second stage of the yogi is called madhyama, that means medium. He is constantly in perception, but the inner dimension and what's beyond is in perception, but what is here he cannot manage. You have, being in India, definitely you have heard of various yogis who were worshipped, but they were absolutely incapable of anything in their life. Many of them at a certain phases of their life, They even had to be reminded to eat and go to the toilet. Even that had to be taken care of. They became like helpless infants.
Ouch.
Interesting.
They're like so zoned out or…
Why are they worshipped? Like, we don't…
I think
we
they…
got people like that. There's a guy down the street from me. Like, just not really, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I think what he's talking about is like people who have like…
this guy doesn't do shit.
entered like enlightened conscious state or whatever, and then they're stuck in that mode. But I think he's saying they're like useless because… Maybe not that they're useless, but that like they can't do anything. They would like die if they,
How do you
didn't get help.
But how do you tell that they're,
They don't do anything. He's saying they got to help get to the toilet. They can't even eat.
I don't know.
Twirl away, twirl up the stash. How do you tell? I don't know. I'm not seeing that where I live, but people so conscious that they need help eating.
It sounds like I'm ridiculing him. I like this. I like it.
Yeah.
I like watching Sadhguru. I think he's cool.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything deeper there that he's getting at with these people that need help for some… Like, he's saying that they're like, they've arrived at some state, but now they're like, they can't do anything else but be in that state.
I saw footage of, like, old footage of this enlightened master or whatever back in, I think it was like before the 60s. And it was kind of choppy film. And this guy was overweight. He was an overweight guy. Didn't look very mobile, sat around with blankets on himself a lot of time, but the sense I got was that the people that surrounded him were like, without looking like I'm going down on you every 5 seconds, they were, what I'm doing here is imitating bowing.
Yeah.
People were like in worship of this guy.
Yeah.
And so the most I can gather is if we're talking a spiritual reality here, that these people like radiate God's love, or it's coming through them.
Yeah.
The like pure consciousness, and there's something about that that's very alluring.
Yeah.
Make people want to be around them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming.
Okay.
I've never met somebody like that. Have you?
Nope. Never. All right. Here we go.
Not even once.
But they were in a fantastic state within themselves. But however fantastic it is, you cannot remain in that state because being disconnected from the physical world, you cannot remain in the physical body. If you have to maintain your physical body, you must have some competence with the physical world, otherwise you cannot manage it. The third state of a yogi is constantly in perception of the ultimate. At the same time, he is perfectly in tune with the outside. To an extent, you do not know whether he is really a yogi or not.
So, I don't know, I think it seems obvious why he picked the third one for the last one, because the third one I think represents the balancing act.
What did you say for the last one?
He said that they could remain in the physical world while at the same time being fully conscious. So much so, they're so in tune with everything that you can't even tell that they're maybe enlightened or arrived at some high consciousness state.
I want to say something here.
Okay.
Earlier, me and you I said, have you ever met somebody like that? Like talking about somebody that's enlightened or so conscious that they are radiating love or consciousness, and it's attractive. And we both said, I've never met somebody like that. Now, there could be people going, that's because you have to be conscious to recognize it. But doesn't that sound exactly like something somebody who is hypnotized would say? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to be like a rational here.
Yeah.
Is there any level of hypnotism? I know there's a guru type person that I respect who's like, will briefly mention that he bullshits in some degree.
Yeah.
So what if part of this like is the mustache twist and the movement and all that? And I've studied a little bit about like mesmerism, like hypnotism and that sort of thing, and there is a thing people can do. Highly charismatic people can get you on their level with certain behaviors and things they say.
Yep.
So I get the vibe sometimes people are like, I don't give a shit. Makes me feel better. I'm not listening. I don't care if I'm being hypnotized. Sometimes you get the sense people have that attitude.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm just saying my piece here. I'm open to it being the fact that these yogis in these different states, you know, some of which can't even do anything. They're just so holy. They
Get carried around all
I
over
need
the
you guys
place.
to take care of me. My holiness is out of control.
Wasn't Osho kind of like that too? Like, just like,
Osho didn't seem like in any footage I saw of him. He seemed very like, you know, like could barely spit out words. Like,
yeah.
you know, I don't know if that's a
and
sign.
nothing against Sadhguru. I think Sadhguru is an
Absolutely not.
interesting character. I think he's actually even doing a lot of good stuff around the world with
Heck
soil
yeah.
and shit.
Heck yeah.
And like, yeah, interesting character. It's just something to mull over. And again, we're just two guys trying to make sense of this and understand it.
That's it. There's so many different spiritual things.
Yeah.
That we're discussing it from almost like a kind of a critical place, but altered states and everything is like, that's something I'm into. I like it. You know, I like, if I can, there's something to be said about contemplation and learning how to like be less impulsive and control your state. It's all good stuff. You know, life itself, in my opinion, is mystical. The fact that reality is the way it is, baseline, is already like, whoa.
Yeah.
This place is crazy.
Yeah, we live in an incredible reality. Yeah, yet divine, yet somewhat peculiar, folks. So, if you like this episode, I hope you hit the like, subscribe, share with a friend, and everybody, until next time,
Stay spiritual.